What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's Kit Kat here. Uh, sorry if my voice sounds a little bit off than usual. My idiot self decided to stay up late watching YouTube videos and crime shows. So I'm not at my best, but it's flexible. I can still make videos for you guys like this. To which I will say we are back on our trend of visiting my personal favorite animators / storytellers. And we are back with the famous Jaiden animations. And she just recently uploaded a video, which is number 3 on trending. Congrats. The best Pokemon game you never played. I mean, granted, when I was younger, probably around middle school, almost elementary school, I was actually into Pokemon. It was pretty cool. But I kind of dropped it because it was getting a bit old. So it'd be interesting to see what she managed to find being a Pokemon weeb herself. And without further ado, let us get into the video, shall we?
I just played one of the best Pokemon games ever, and I'm here to tell you all about it. I'm a huge Pokemon fan. Ruby was one of the first video games I remember owning, and I've decided to devote the rest of my life and soul to the franchise. And by that, I mean I'll play the new games when they come out. Do I have to like them? No. Frankly, I think the past few recent ones have been kinda garbage. But that won't stop me from getting my hopes up thinking the next game will be different, even though deep down, we all know it won't be. But Pokemon does have a few side games you might have heard of, like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, or Pokemon Stadium, or that weird geometric one. But there's one franchise that I feel like doesn't get talked about nearly as much as it deserves, and that's Pokemon Ranger. I had the original Pokemon Ranger game as a kid, and I remember 2 things about it. I liked it, and circles. Lots of circles. The flashbacks are beginning. When I remembered Pokemon Ranger existed, I decided to look it up and see if it was worth possibly making a video on, and that's when I realized there were actually 3 Pokemon Ranger games. Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Almia, and Pokemon Ranger Guardian Signs. Bit of a Pokemon Ranger mouthful, but I digress. I was looking at some forums of people discussing which one they thought was the best, and the Shadows of Almia one seemed to be high on a lot of people's lists. So I bought the game. Now sit down and get comfy because I just played this game for the first time, and I'm here to tell you about why it's the best game ever. The game starts off with your character taking the entrance exam to a Pokemon Ranger school, and it only took me 2 attempts to draw 5 consecutive circles around this barely moving Pikachu. You're dang right that's impressive. I guess that's all it takes, because now I'm officially a member of this secret army for this inscrutable teen school plotting to rule the world. Oh, he's just kidding. Yeah, it's a normal school. I'm introduced to my class, and for some reason they've been, like, starved for new human contact or something, because they're bombarding the teacher with questions. Are they a boy or a girl? Which is it? Is she cute? So I'm introducing myself, and apparently the teacher catches this Keith kid looking at me with a big grin. Anyway, you go sit next to Keith. Oh, okay, just plop me right next to him. Yeah, I don't mind or anything. Thanks, Teach. Anyway, you get a tour of the school from the scroll with me, meeting the other teacher, Mr. Kincaid, who's apparently a stickler for making sure kids don't run in the hall, and this kid, Isaac, that Rhythmy called Mushroom Hair. Both my IQ and my height in centimeters are 163. Alright, bud. After getting a feel for the school, you're taught how to capture Pokemon with your styler. Loops portray the feeling of friendship, so the more loops you draw around the Pokemon, the more it will submit to your friendship. That's nice. Touch the Bidoof. You finish the school day and are fast asleep in the dorms when all the students decide it's initiation time. Get up, sleepyhead, it's 4 a.m., time for your student initiation. Yes, sirs. They tell you to find all 4 of the stylers they've hidden around the giant school, and after doing so, you have to put them in the basement for some reason. So you head down there after finding them all, and are in the basement when, why are you down here? Only I'm permitted to be in the basement. Leave now! Anyway, Isaac, have you finished testing my very secret experiment no one can know about? The rest of the school year goes on without any big problems. Pokemon Ranger Crawford comes and talks about what it's like to be a ranger. You save the milkman from some Bidoof. You attend a one-day internship at the local Pokemon Ranger base and they make you bring them their lunch as an important mission. Actually, while you're at the internship, someone runs over and says the Pokemon on the beach are acting strange. You go with the Rangers to check it out to see all the Pokemon going crazy and save the day by capturing them with your loops of friendship. But yeah, that's weird. Finally, you make it to graduation. Jaiden, come up and make a speech as the class representative. Oh, I'm the class representative, huh? Well, don't mind if I... So after saving everyone from a very strange rampage of Tangrowth, you start working at the Pokemon Ranger base you interned at. There's a call about some more Pokemon acting strange down in a nearby cave, so your first mission is to investigate what's going on. In the cave, you stumble upon this weird missile-looking machine that seems to be what's hypnotizing the Pokemon in its vicinity and making them go crazy. So you destroy it and everyone's proud of you. This Professor Hastings guy is called down from the Pokemon Union to take a look at the cave machine, and I guess he's like 100 years old or something because the Rangers want you to go meet him halfway in Puel Town to make sure he doesn't get lost and die along the way. You take one step in town, and oh god, all the Pokemon are going nuts. Turns out there's more of those rocket machines planted in the town, and as you're going around smashing them, you run into some guys that are not only very shady, but also terribly shifty. They run away to tell their leaders there's Pokemon Rangers smashing their stuff, and further into the town you find them again with their admin, who's like, "Dude, what the heck? What do you have against our Giga Remos, you vandals? Treat things with respect," and then attacks me with Rattata and a Toxicroak. Not gonna lie, their battle music kinda bangs though.
Oh, it actually does.
Turns out they're part of this gang called Team Dim Sun, and after capturing their Pokemon with friendship loops, they decide to retreat. We're able to find Professor Hastings and bring him back to the base to analyze what we now know are Giga Remo machines. He finds a tiny black crystal in the center that seems to be the thing that allows Team Dim Sun to control the Pokemon. The base considers this a problem, which is reasonable. And now the Pokemon Union starts getting involved, which is like the big head honcho of Pokemon Ranger bases where all the Ranger prodigies are. The story continues as the Union tries to uncover more about what Dim Sun is up to, and you keep interrupting their plans. You catch them trying to drill a tunnel in the side of a mountain. You catch them having a secret base and cargo ship in the middle of a volcano, which Mr. Kincaid has found to be part of Dim Sun. Big surprise, didn't see that one coming. You haven't been running in the ship's hallways, have you? You catch them mining hundreds of dark crystal shards in an abandoned mine. That one was a bit of a problem because apparently there is the mother of all shadow crystals. They are powerful enough to power this incredible machine they're in the middle of developing that they plan on using to control all the Pokemon within a 500-mile radius they got their grubby hands on and helicoptered away to their headquarters. Probably should tell someone about that. But the good thing is we ended up finding the diary of the Dim Sun president's father, who writes about how if we gather these 3 gems called the Tears of Princes, the gems will be able to combine their power and negate the power of the Shadow Crystal. Alright, let's go do that. The first gem is told to be in this giant ice castle called Alama Castle, and on the way there, you run into Dim Sun grunts trying to stop you. They're not hard to deal with, and they start getting a bit frustrated. I want to pay you with a snowball. Hard. You make it to the castle after swimming through a bunch of ocean boulders and whirlpools that totally didn't slow me down at all, and end up at the castle where Dim Sun is already running around in trying to get the gem first. These guys are blocked from going any further because this giant chunk of ice is in front of the door, and the grunts are like, "Man, that's a big hunk of ice. If we made snow cones out of it, we'd be able to feed like 403 people." And then they see me standing there and are all,
How do
"Hey,
you know?
that outfit! What are they called again? Pokemon Ranger? You came for a snow cone?" You deal with that whole situation and end up in the room just before where the gem is being kept, where you're introduced to one of the members of Team Dim Sun's Sinus Trio, Ice. I don't know what his deal is, but he called me Jaiden Noob and then dabbed, so I had to murder him. Well, I captured and freed his Frostlass, and he scurried away all, "Well, I didn't need the gem anyway." After gaining the trust of the Lucario guarding the gem with more of my loops, the blue gem of the Tier of Princes is mine. Fast forward a
I
bit
like
and you get the red
Lucario.
gem as well.
In my
after
opinion,
defeating
Lucario
Sinus
is
Trio,
my
Ivana
favorite
and her
Pokemon.
Infernape. She doesn't dab, but she does do this sexy little dance. The guy from school, Keith, who's a ranger now, was assigned to get the yellow gem and hasn't come back yet. So the Union's like, Alright, Jaiden, go check on him. You hop on a boat to the destination, but whoops, apparently a whale lord is in trouble. I'll just go down there and see. Yep, I thought so. These dim sun grunts are trying to kidnap a whale lord, and after destroying the machines that were trapping it, they decide to just grab a whalemer instead and try to convince their boss it's a whale lord mini. You follow them on the rescued whale lord and start infiltrating their base. Down a hall, you discover the grunts squishing the whalemer through the door, and as you follow them into the room, they're like, "Oh crap! Shoot. Do you want to deal with the ranger? Oh no, I'm too wimpy. I know. Let's apologize. Sorry. We got the ranger's confidence. Charge! And then drop a truckload of Slackoth on me. After capturing all their Slackoth, they're like, "Oh no!" And then all of them just grab me and shove me out of the room and lock it. Which honestly is more effective than like 99% of all video game villains. So you keep running through the base and end up actually finding mushroom-haired Isaac from Ranger School. He's been manipulated into building Dim Sun's incredible machine, and we agree to take him back to the Union after we finish up our business in the secret hideout. We finally encounter Mr. Kincaid, who's manning the whale lord operation. He's being all maniacal, but we successfully capture his Glysker, save Whalmer, and bring Isaac safely back to the Union, where he gives us access to the incredible machine blueprints. Skipping ahead in the story a bit, we end up not being able to get the yellow gem because Heath, the last of the Sinis trio, kidnapped Keith and we exchanged him for the yellow gem. I kept trying to say no, but I guess it's good we saved him. The Union makes a plan to have their top rangers go and fly to Dim Sun's headquarters and face them head on. Jaiden, you can just sit in the corner and do nothing. But right as they leave to do that, the Sinis trio busts through the Union walls and are like, "Ha ha ha, we'll be taking this," and steal back Isaac because they need him to complete the incredible machine by midnight so they can activate the Shadow Crystal. Isaac complied because they threatened to kill his sister or something. So new plan, now I have to get Isaac back and basically destroy the machines that were protecting their building/incredible machine because, oops, I didn't mention this before, but they turned their entire building headquarters into the Incredible Machine. What? We basically just waltzed right through the front doors of the headquarters. Heh, that'll stop people from entering. What? How did you get in here? And battle our way up to Isaac, who's like,
"How'd you get in here?
You're a bit too late. I totally just completed the entire machine and they're about to use it to hypnotize all the Pokemon in the region in like 5 minutes. Well, at least your sister's not dead. So you run to the top, defeating the Sinis trio every floor of the way, and grab the last tiers of Prince's Gem. And you get to the top where you meet the Dim Sun president Blake Hall for the first time, and he's like, "You're too late. It's time for darkness. Get her, Dusknoir." And then I capture it immediately. And he's like, "Just kidding. Get her, Darkrai." And then Darkrai just starts dipping me into darkness, and Keith has to come save me on his Staraptor. So Darkrai's like, "Well, then I'm gonna just dip these guys into the darkness," and throws Blake and his assistant into the void. Haha, but I decide to capture and free Darkrai anyway with the help of the Tears of Princes, and save the day. Yay, woohoo, I'm a hero. Time to take a nap. Now, Pokemon Ranger is a big
That is a
It took me about
big-ass
24
mood.
full hours to get through the game, so I had to leave out a lot, and I mean a lot, of other points in the story. There's even a bunch of side quests that are actually pretty entertaining and funny you can complete that help power up your styler. There's one where this guy says he researches smells and wants me to bring him the stench of a muck. So you do it, and he's like, "Yes," and puts it in a jar. Then later on in the game, he pops up again, and this time asks for a Weezing and a Skuntank, to which he's like, "Yes," and puts them in jars. Then he's like, "Thanks, dude," and you never see him again. The dialogue is absolutely amazing. This game has probably the best writing out of any Pokemon game I know of. Team Dim Sun is obviously the star of the show, and whenever they come on screen, you know they're gonna have something funny to say. At one point, while I was trying to get into their secret base in the volcano, I captured the Pokemon they were controlling, and they're like, "Time to make our escape," and set off dynamite, which exploded a giant boulder and blocked the entrance to the base, which they're like, "Shoot, we were supposed to detonate it after we go in." So they had to wait for me to go get a Pokemon that can destroy the rock. And they're like, "Thanks, Ranger, we'll be grateful for this for about a second." And they run through the door. So you follow them, and they come back like, "Hey, we forgot about you helping us. Take this." and drop a bunch of Numble on me. Also, all of the music that plays when they're around is awesome. I was jamming out whenever I was running around their base. It's a bummer this game isn't super popular. I know it's got a small cult following, but it definitely deserves to be more well-known, and I really consider it one of the top Pokemon games out there, just on writing alone. It's not a hard game, but, I mean, Pokemon isn't meant to be a difficult game series anymore.
It's
I can
really
see
not.
some people getting a bit tired of the capture system since it doesn't change much throughout the game, but honestly, again, I think the story and dialogue far make up for the semi-repetitive capture and battle system. Now, I know I kind of just talked about the entire plot, but if you're curious about playing it yourself, there's so much I left out, and there's still a lot to discover about the game, so I highly recommend it. I'm being honest when I say I didn't even cover a third of what happens in the game, and there are a lot of funny moments I really wanted to talk about that I just didn't have room for in the script. I'm just trying to convince you to play the game yourself at this point, because I think it's just that funny of a game. But I'll stop. But here's all my stats after completing the game. It took me about 24 hours to complete it. I captured 734 Pokemon and ran away from 106. I think that's a pretty good ratio. And look, I drew a total of 9,077 loops. With that amount of practice, I bet I'm a master at drawing circles now. Thanks for watching the video on me drawing circles for 20 hours. Huge thanks to the team for their hard work. This video was massive, and it turned out amazing.
That was good. But yeah, actually, like especially with the way that she's like talking about it and how she described her experience in playing the game. If I had if I had any access to any game consoles, I would definitely would want to try the game out and play it for myself. Because like she said, she left out a couple stuff, so. And me, I'm a curious little human being, so I would want to know for myself. But that's all I have for today, guys. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, click subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell to get notifications every time I post a new video. Because someone just recently came out to me and said, "Oh my god, I didn't notice that you started uploading again." And I'm like, how could you not? Like, do you have the bell clicked? And he's like, "Oh, I don't think I do. I thought I did, but I don't." So yeah, if you want to stay up to date on my uploads, be sure to click that bell for notifications every time I post a new video. And that is all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Deuces!